Hey, Bill O'Reilly here. Welcome to the No Spin News for Tuesday, March 3rd, 2026. Stand up for your country. Nobody knows how this Iranian thing is going to turn out. So you turn on the television and there's speculation and guessing, and all of that presents a big problem for the TV pundits. What are they going to say? They don't know what to say. So they fall back on the cliche, we'll see. Okay, well, we're not doing that here. Any television person getting paid good money to say we'll see they're insulting us. That's what they're doing. So that kind of blather is lazy and condescending. And we will never stoop to that. I will tell you, I don't know how this is going to turn out. It is a military action that did not have to happen. This is an option. And now we're going to walk through that option in the talking points memo. All right, there's a new poll, CNN, 1,004 adults nationwide. Now, adults means people who are not actively engaged in a political process. So registered voters, that's a step up from adults, and then likely voters is the top of the line. For whatever reason, CNN just said adults. Okay. Democrat 28, Republican 28, Independent 44. That's oversampling independents, but I don't have a problem with it. First question. What is your view of U.S. decision to take military action in Iran? Approve 41, disapprove 59. Democrats approve 18, disapprove 82. Standard issue there. Republicans approve 77. 5 points down from the Democratic disapproval number. Disapprove 23. So the 5% of conservative traditional Republicans are isolationists. They don't want any part of this. Okay? Keep that in mind. It's important when you're evaluating this kind of a public opinion survey. Next question. Do you think the U.S. military action will make Iran more of a threat to the USA? 54%. Less of a threat, 28%. Now, how could it make it more of a threat? How is that possible? They've already pledged to kill all of us, and now their weapons have been degraded, so why would it make it more of a threat? This is what I mean. There's no logic in these answers at all. None. It's all emotion, emotion, emotion. Final question. Do you favor or oppose U.S. trying to overthrow the Iranian government? Favor 44, oppose 56. Why would you oppose that? Why would you oppose the United States helping to overthrow the Iranian government? They're killers. Why would you oppose it? This is, to me, I'm going, whoa, who are these people? And I'm going to tell you who they are. Unfortunately, we live in a world now where people can create their own existence. In a sense, they live in a bubble. They don't go out of the bubble. So in Hollywood, they're all lefties. Maybe in Idaho, they're all righties. They're on the social media. They don't go and get another opinion. They just hear their own stuff reinforced. That's what cable news does, every single one of them. They live in a bubble. All right, fact finding, nah. Book reading is way down. They go into social media where there are no editors, nothing is checked. Now, I get letters every single day, mad, crazy stuff. Oh, I heard this, I heard that. A little skepticism, please. It's not hard to get information. You just Google whatever the subject is. And most of that information is okay. All right? But bubble people are taking over the world, not just the United States. So the truth is that since 1979, as I write in Confronting Evil, remember I got the Ayatollah Khomeini on the cover of that book with Putin and Hitler and Mao. And there's a reason he's there, okay? Because since 1979, Iran has been in business to kill Jews and Americans and disrupt the world. That's a long, long time. And the worst damage they did was in the Iraq War, where 36,000 American casualties took place. 36,000, including 4,500 dead. All right, and then in Afghanistan, it was 23,000 U.S. casualties, 2,500 dead. And many of those casualties were roadside bombs, and those bombs were built by Iran. All right, are we getting the picture here? So Iran has killed Americans. And then we had, of course, the Hamas attack on October 7, 2023, totally financed and armed by Iran. 1,200 people killed, estimated 46 Americans in that 1,200 people dead. And then 12 Americans taken hostage. And this is all Iran. So the poll goes, you don't want the government overthrown there? What? I'm just pointing this out because it makes absolutely no sense at all. If you want to justify military action against Iran, all you do is point to what I just told you. All right? It is a terror state. And now it's being downgraded. Okay. The Biden administration did nothing. I had my staff research it. The Biden administration, according to a number of sources, we did the math, unfroze $16 billion in assets and gave it to Iran. $16 billion. Okay? Where'd that money go? Into nuclear program, ballistic missile program, Hezbollah, Hamas, Houthis, terror groups. That's where it went. This is Biden. Biden do anything? No. Treaty after treaty after treaty, Iranians broke every single accord. And this goes back to 2009 with Barack Obama. You remember John Kerry was the big point man. You know, every single deal they broke. Every one. So it got to the point where President Trump had to bomb their nuclear facilities last June. I mean, this is historical facts. I'm giving you facts. I'm not saying we'll see. I'm not doing this mumbo jumbo. I'm giving you the facts. And these people are horrendous. And thank God 50 of them at least are dead. All right. Now, the administration obviously has to justify its cause to the American people, which is correct. I mean, they answered us, and we need to know why this is happening. Here's what Secretary of State Rubio said yesterday. Go.
The purpose of this is to destroy that missile capability. Why does Iran want that ballistic missile capability? What they are trying to do, and have been trying to do for a very long time, is build a conventional weapons capability as a shield where they can hide behind. Meaning, there would come a point where they have so many conventional missiles, so many drones, and it can inflict so much damage that no one can do anything about their nuclear program. That is what they were trying to do, is put themselves in a place of immunity where the damage they could inflict on the region would be so high that no one can do anything about their nuclear program.
All right. What the Secretary of State will not say is that the timing of this synced up with the protests in Iran that we saw the last few weeks. Estimated 30,000 dead. I can't vouch for that number. Very hard to get an accurate number. There's no reporters in Iran. But they killed a lot of protesters, they the mullahs. Okay. That's why Trump is saying, hey, we might have an opportunity here. If we downgrade their weapons, which is obviously what's happening now, maybe the Persians will rise up and throw them out, as they did with the Shah in 1979. If you really want to know about this, you read Confronting Evil. Okay. But most Americans don't want to know about it. They're too lazy to know about it. And I'm sorry to be supercilious here, but it's true. You hand them a map and say, where's Iran? They don't know. Okay, they don't know. And they don't care. And there are going to be painful things. I mean, you wake up this morning, the stock market's down 1,200 points. I hope you didn't panic. Okay, that's all emotion, emotion, emotion. Oil will go up. You'll pay a little bit more at the pump, but this is temporary. You know, the government's setting us up, the Trump administration, for a long slog. I'm not so sure about that. All right, Iran's pretty much out of gas now. Their weaponry is pretty much done. They can't deliver it. 6 Americans killed, but that's not a lot of KIA in a big campaign like this. And I'm watching very closely. I don't see a lot of counterattacks going on. All right, so let's sum it up. The military action by the USA and Israel would not be taking place if the protests had not happened. I think that is absolutely true. President Trump didn't want the military action. I explained this to you earlier. I spoke with him on the phone for a good while, 3 weeks ago today, and he said, I want to make a deal. And I was a little skeptical about that, and I pointed out to him that Iran broke every deal with the Biden administration. Every single one they broke, all right? But Trump wanted to make a deal. Couldn't. They wouldn't agree. So time was right. And that's the memo.